Hey, so we are recording, and I have with me the lovely, and this is where I end up going, I know people's names, but at some point during these interviews, I'm probably going to call someone by the wrong name. And I know Bryony. Bryony Jackson, because I just get name brain fade a lot of the time. Usually it's someone I know really well where I do it wrong, but it's at the bottom here, so I've got no excuse. But yes, we are welcoming today the lovely Bryony, and I call everybody lovely as well, but there you go. But she is really lovely.
I am lovely.
And she is very close to me. So, and at some point we're going to meet in person.
We are, yeah.
But Bryony, I'm always on my piece of paper, as you know by now. Hopefully.
I am very much a piece of paper girl as well. So
you can't.
You waggle yours and I'll waggle mine.
I know. I haven't got the memory to not waggle. So Bryony has got 25 years in sales and marketing. She has seen it all, done it all, and has done strategy, has done lots of different things, social media. She's, let's just say, very, very experienced, but beautiful with it. So she's been, doing your own small business. She's about jargon free. We're about wafting the pieces of paper. And what I love about Bryony's, the way she's applying the marketing to her own business, is that she is about jargon free, making it as easy as possible, stress free and fun, which I know a lot of us will probably, well, not me, because I've got into marketing over the last few years, but those who struggle with it will probably go, but that's why Bryony is here. She's set up 3 small businesses whilst holding down her regular 9 to 5. We've been there, all done that. And again, she is definitely in the zone of what this whole summit is about, in terms of like how we are living and breathing all of this and getting that juggle done. When she's not demystifying marketing, she is on the scenic footpaths of East Devon, which is near me in Exmouth. Well, I'm in East Devon technically as well. And we were just saying she was going to the beach with the dogs last night. So it is about balance, and that's what she's about. And in the summit, she is going to be talking about, and it's a subject I love, how to craft irresistible emails that people want to open and reply to, something very important. She's going to guide you through how to write engaging email body, strategic call to action placement, the power of the PS subject lines. I was reading that then and going, what? And I was like, oh, PS subject lines. My brain just goes off on one. And so make sure they get open and avoid email overwhelm and spam triggers, which we all want, don't we? So Bryony, can you, other piece of paper, tell me a little bit about your business journey?
Yeah, so I started Bryony Makes Marketing Easy in just May of this year. It feels like ages ago, but it was actually only May.
And we're in October, November now, so yeah.
I know. And the reason I started it was I've spent 25 years in the pharmaceutical industry in various guises, and I've suffered with corporate stress. I've suffered with workplace bullying, and in January of this year, I was made redundant whilst I was on my deathbed with COVID.
Oh God.
I was made redundant, and I just thought, like, I'd always known I wanted to start my own business. I thought, right, this is it. This is telling you that it's now time. And I knew that I wanted to demystify marketing, because I had so many friends who were small business owners saying, oh, my business could be so much more successful if only I knew how to market it properly. So I knew I wanted to demystify marketing, because I was thinking, but you do know how to market it properly. You just don't know you do. And marketing is just that all-encompassing term. No one really understands exactly what it means. Some people just think, oh, it means emails. Some people think, oh, it means advertising. But it's a whole lot more than that. And I became very passionate that I wanted to make other small business owners successful. Because walking in my own path, where I knew I no longer thrived in corporate and I had to become a small business owner myself, I just thought everybody deserves to be successful. And why do we have to rely on corporate world to make us successful? Why can't we be successful in our own world? Because I feel like I could never go back to corporate. So that's where my passion kind of came from. I hadn't really thought through what I was going to do, but I went onto a course, the one-to-many course. Everyone knows about it, and through that course I worked my way through what my passion was, what I was going to do, and how I was going to do it. That said, everything evolves and your business needs to continuously evolve as well. So my business started out as a completely anonymous business. There was a very strong reason for being anonymous. I didn't want to be seen, and I had reasons for that, which I do talk about quite a lot, but we haven't probably got time to go into here. But I realized very quickly that that wasn't going to work, and I had to bite the billet and become visible. And I think I did that really well, because lots of people who I kind of look up to in the online world, whenever I'm lucky enough to meet them, say to me, I know you, you're everywhere. And that's where I kind of hung my hat on what part of marketing I wanted to be known for, which was visibility. And I became a visibility and growth strategist. I always talk about visibility and growth together, because there's no point being visible if it's not actually doing something for your business. So that's kind of a rambled way of how I got to where I am now.
No, it's great. It's also made me realise I'm taking out the second question, because I don't need it, because you've answered it.
Brilliant.
But no, I mean, I think that's really good. And it's that whole, we do go through that rambling journey. And a big part of what the Sparkle and Thrive Summit is about is that bringing together those people who are going through that experience and have done different things. And you know, we all know a lot of these things are important, but it's like, how do we put it together? And how do we explore our own journeys and do so?
That's the funny thing about being a small business owner, because you have to have many hats, and all of a sudden, I mean, you say, let's say you're a graphic designer and you're an absolute expert in graphic designer, but then you then have to become a marketing expert and a sales expert and a business expert and an accountant. And it's, how do we pull all these different roles together?
Yeah, and it's that whole thing as well, isn't it, about how do you achieve that with having a life? And you know, walking the dogs in your case, having a toddler in my case, doing all the different things that we want to do with our life. And that for me is the key, is that the pieces of the puzzle, pulling them together, isn't it? And that's why it's so good to have all of these experiences. So what advice would you, and I think this feeds in beautifully with what you're about, and it doesn't have to be marketing, it can be anything, but it can be marketing as well. What advice would you give to someone feeling overwhelmed by the demands of growing their business? Because as you say, it is growth and there's lots of different things, but what would your advice be?
Absolutely ties in with what I was saying about the many hats. Do you know what? We can't be everything to everyone, so you need to invest in help, and that would be my biggest tip, because that is kind of what has changed my business around, reduced my stress, reduced my overwhelm, and introduced some kind of work-life balance. I think we often call ourselves solopreneurs, and we think we have to do it all on our own, but you know what? We don't. We have to invest in our businesses. And actually, the time you should invest in your business is the time when your business isn't making any money. And I know lots of people, including myself, have kind of thought, my business isn't making any money, therefore I can't invest in it. But you have to turn that around. And if you're lucky enough to have some savings or some other income, then you have to invest in your business then to get it into a business that is making money. So number one tip is invest in help. You can't do it alone.
Love it.
And you need to decide where in your business do you need help most. Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing, isn't it? And that's about the whole pulling together what your strategy is and what you want to do and all of that kind of stuff, which again, we've got some great speakers talking about some of these stuff as well, which is great. It's just so good. Get very excited. So what tools, techniques or habits have been most effective for you in managing your time and energy?
I'm a big fan of Trello and a massive fan of Canva, and I'm not affiliate for either. So Trello I had actually used in my corporate role, and we used it as a team. But I find it really good even when you're working on your own. So what I do is I set myself up cards for the month. So for instance, this month I'll have October week 1, October week 2, October week 3, October week 4, and then I'll have November. So I know exactly what I need to do in each of those weeks because it goes on to Trello. Then when it comes to the end of October, I'll look at my November card and I'll split it into November week 1, November week 2, and I just keep it rolling like that. I have a 2024 card, which is things I'd like to do in 2024. Don't know if I'll ever get round to them, but they're there on my card. I can flick them into a week where I have a gap. And I have a 2025 card as well, which is things I want to do, but they're not for this year. But when it comes to 2025, I'll then start mapping them out into my Trello cards then. I even have an extra Trello card, which is things I need to do at home. So my life admin, so that can often get split into weeks as well. And then if I've got something like, at the moment, I'm planning a challenge, I have my challenge card as well. So in my challenge card, there's everything that needs to happen in order for the challenge to happen. And then I split them into the weeks where I have the availability or I know it needs to happen. So Trello's been an absolute game changer for me. And the thing I really love about Trello is I've got an app on my phone, so that when I go on holiday, if I get a message through of someone asking me to do something, I just say I'm on holiday, I'll do it when I get back, and then I can just quickly put it on my Trello card for my back from holiday week, and then I can just forget about it and enjoy the rest of my holiday.
Oh, fabulous. I love Trello, and we have someone coming and talking about Trello.
Well, I can't wait for that, because I just do the basics of Trello and I want to know the ins and outs and everything of it.
Yeah, so you'll love that one.
Yeah. And then the other thing that is a really quick win for your business is having a lead generation process, because your lead generation has to be continuous. And if you have an easy step-by-step process, you can Trello it, Trello each task, make sure that you're doing it every day, block some time aside each day, like half an hour each day for a bit of lead generation. Make sure that you have a continuous pipeline of clients, so you don't have those peaks and troughs of, oh, I'm doing lead generation, oh, I'm doing sales, or I'm doing the doing. It's all got to be continuous. And also have a conversation plan, so that when you're making personal outreach to people, you have scripted what you want to say. So you can do a bit of copy and paste, but then obviously tailor it to that individual conversation. And once you've had that conversation, you know the next point you want to take it, because it just makes it so much quicker and easier.
Yeah, I mean, as a former internal auditor, I obviously love a good process.
Yes.
And a good framework. And it's that whole thing as well of making it work for you and your business and bringing it all together, and we can have those fundamental principles. And it's just, yeah, you're right. It's having, I think the key for me in all of what you're saying is it's breaking it down, isn't it, into bite-sized manageable chunks. That's what I'm sort of taking away as well. That
helps you to avoid overwhelm as well. So if you just know on this day I need to do this, and the next step of the process is this, which I'll do on this day, you completely avoid the overwhelm, rather than sitting down looking like I have to do this whole big thing and I don't have time.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very process driven. And I think this comes from when I was managing a team of people in a digital agency. And we were all completely overstretched. And if one person went off sick or on holiday, the whole thing crumbled. So when I came to manage the team, I introduced a process for everything. So that if everybody followed the same process, we would then be able to pick up anybody's work at any time, because we could look at what they'd already done and we knew exactly what happened next.
You were an internal auditor's dream. So how do you decide when to say, because I think this is really important, no to things, or where to focus your efforts? Because I do think we often, as small businesses, we want to say yes, 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 yes. But actually, how do you say no?
I absolutely love this question, because I have done a masterclass, not on this, but with this in mind. So you have to have a really clear sales and marketing strategy, so that you know exactly what you're selling when and what needs to happen to move you towards that goal. So then everything that I'm doing in my business, every task that comes along, every opportunity that comes along, I ask myself the question, is this part of my strategy? Does it move it closer to my goal? If the answer is yes, crack on. If the answer is no, don't do it. Only do the stuff that moves you towards your goal.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So again, I love a quick win. So what's one small but powerful step someone can take, our watchers today or our listeners today, to start building a more sustainable business, would you say?
It is the lead generation process, because without lead generation, you have no business. Without a process, it becomes overwhelming, and you don't do the thing that you've got to do. So lead generation process is absolutely it.
Love it. Love it. So thank you. These are designed to be short, valuable. We're all busy interviews. So thank you ever so much, Bryony.
I've really loved it. Thank you.
It's going to be so fabulous.
Yeah. And I cannot wait for the summit. I cannot wait for my session, because it's an absolute game changer.
Yes. So everybody, if you're, obviously this is going to be around on social media for a while. So if it's past the summit, Sorry. But yeah, if you're around and you want to join the summit, all the details will be in the thing, as well as how you can connect with Bryony will be all around as well. And yeah, you can join the summit and it's going to be fabulous. And it's on the 25th of November 2024. But hopefully we will do future ones, because this will be a resounding success, because we've got amazing speakers like Bryony.
It absolutely will be.
Yeah. So have a lovely day, everybody, and do connect and do comment and do subscribe and do all that jazz.
And see you on the summit.
And see you on the summit.
Bye.